This is life when the righteous are in authority. That's what I'm saying, brother.
This is life, and the Lord's elect to rule.
Look at it. Still turning. Blue and proud. Esau really thought he would pull it off.
Man, he tried.
We can finally enjoy our offspring.
I'm winning. Not if I catch you first. Love you. Whoa, spin to the sky. I see you, princess. Looking royal. Let me tell you a little story about our deliverance from Babylon.
I could linger here forever. The world feels lighter when the river sings.
Now this is life more abundant.
We can finally rest.
On this surrounding world, we can finally rest.
Smells good over here, brother.
You know it, just wait till you taste it.
All praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah.
Yes, sir.
The earth was never overpopulated. It just wasn't ran properly.
To good friends and new chapters, and to the courage it took to get here. May we never forget it. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. That's better than I expected.
Chapters and old friends.
To courage and joy.
And to us.
Cheers.
That's lovely.
Grateful for nights like this.
Always.
And that, knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep. For now is our salvation nearer than when we believed.
All praises to Yahweh. All praises to Yahweh. Bahashem Yahweh Shai.
All praises to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai.
To Israel.
All right, Shalom, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, praise, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of the GMS who rule well and teach well. And peace, love, and salutations to the men, women, and children out there keeping His word in sincerity and the truth. And today, we're going to continue in the book of Job, in chapter 5, in the book of Job series. You know, if you remember in last chapter, chapter 4, his friend Eliphaz, they pretty much asking them questions, like trying to uplift them. And he was like pretty much telling them like, that's how, in the beginning of the chapter, that's how I started off. He had pointed out like you had all the advice for everybody else. Like when it came to other people, you knew what to say. But now it's your turn. It's like you don't know what to do. So it's continuing on in chapter 5. Job 5:1. Let's see what I want to read it in. I'll read it in the KJV. Call now, if there be any that will answer thee, and to which of the saints wilt thou turn? For wrath killeth the foolish man, and envy slayeth the silly one. I have seen the foolish taking root, but suddenly I curse his habitation. His children are far from safety, and they are crushed in the gate, neither is there any to deliver them. Whose harvest the hungry eateth up, and taketh it even out of the thorns. And the robber swalloweth up their substance, although affliction cometh not forth of the dust, neither doth trouble spring out of the ground. Yet man is born unto trouble as the sparks fly upward. I will seek unto Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, and unto Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai would I commit my cause. Even now, well, I'm gonna read verse 8 in the NLT, probably the AMP. But now 5 and 8 in the NLT. If I were you, I will go to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai and present my case to him. Like he said, and even Job, before he got to this point when his friends came along, he already knew the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away. He had already said it to his wife. So and then when he got the bad news from his servants, he broke down. He shaved his head, tore his clothes, and he dropped to his knees. He still went to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. But now his friend is advising him, if I was you, I plead my cause to him. Now, verse 9 in the KJV, which doeth great things and unsearchable, marvelous things without number. There's no limit to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai's wisdom and what they can do. And we just got a glimpse, a quick little snippet of everything that just dealing with Yahweh Shai and the miracles that he did. Feeding the multitude with that one fish, healing the sick, healing the blind, the deaf, you know what I'm saying? You got all type of things that he did, walking on water, turning water into wine. There's nothing. There's so much stuff that he did, they couldn't even fit it into a book if they tried. Because you got to think about, like, even you walking around this earth today. You, like I say, your character is defined by what you do when nobody's looking. You might have picked something up and threw it in the garbage. Well, I'm not saying it's a miracle. You know what I'm saying? Just pretty much good deeds. Your neighbors got they got a box sitting outside the house, and they done had it out there for a few days. You know what I'm saying? They ain't got no truck. You stay in an apartment complex, the dumpster might be on the other side of the complex. Taking the box, dumping it for them. Opening the door for an elderly woman. You know what I'm saying? There's all type of things you can do every day that you don't even really consider. Yahweh Shai did outstanding things, and it's the same thing with us. Like, you don't even consider it. He was always in that mode, man. He was always looking out for his people. And the same people that offered him up. But getting back to the point, verse 9 again, which doeth great things and unsearchable, marvelous things without number, who give rain upon the earth and sendeth waters upon the fields, to set up on high those that be low, that those which mourn may be exalted to safety. He disappointed the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. And I'm gonna read that in NLT. He frustrates the plans of schemers, so the work of their hands will not succeed. And that's even dealing like today. That's the topic at hand. We in the last days. And Esau coming with this technocracy, and he moving his hand. They trying to do stuff covert, moving behind the scenes, but now they starting to be exposed. After a while, it's gonna be completely overt, and they ain't gonna try to hide nothing. It's just gonna be is what it is, and it ain't gonna be an option. I'm trying to sneak it up on you no more. You're gonna be forced with it. It's either gonna be right E-way or the highway. But now he frustrating they plans and schemes now, and ultimately they still he gonna upset it in the end. It's already written. He can't go through with it. But verse 13, he taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the froward is carried headlong. They meet with darkness in the daytime, and grope in the noonday as in the night. But he saveth the poor from the sword, from their mouth, and from the hand of the mighty. So the poor hath hope, and iniquity stoppeth her mouth. Behold, happy is the man whom Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai corrected. Therefore despise not thou the chastening of the Almighty. Because they say if you catching a little hell, it's depending on what it is, you might You might not feel like you've been doing nothing. Like, damn, what I done did. But if you just going through life, or just going through your days, day to day, week by week, and everything just smooth, you know, being in this truth, you should expect something to go wrong at some point. So, you know, the Lord still, you know, we still in captivity, but the Lord, we hoping that we're part of that number. We know He gonna throw something at us and see how we react to it. Now, even now, Job getting something thrown at him. The devil, like I say, people be talking about this story now. And especially, I got somebody who a non-believer that I talked to on the game. That was one of the things he brought up. If I ain't already say that in one of these previous videos, he like, you got a God that pretty much, he made a bet with Satan. I say it was a bet. And you consider my man Job, it was like a bet. Even now, you still got brothers. Hey, brothers gamble. You know, brothers go to casinos. They might bet on those sporting events, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Ain't like the brother got a gambling problem or nothing. It's just people in the world in general. Jake, big thing, going to the casino, doing this, doing that. Jake be out there shooting dice. You know what I'm saying? We ain't condoning that. You know, that always end up to, you know, violence. But even to this day, Jake gambled. But that wasn't the gamble. That wasn't the bet that the Lord was gonna lose. That wasn't the bet Yahweh Bashim Yahushua was gonna lose. Cause he know what kind of man Job was. He know who he made. And verse 17, I got a precept for that. This Deuteronomy 8. I'm talking about the damn LeBron James. Deuteronomy 8 and 5. I read it in the NLT. Think about it. Just as a parent disciplines a child, the Lord, your power, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, your power, disciplines you for your own good. And like I say, it's for our own good. And so, like in times now, when Esau come up what he come with, we done already been through some of everything. Well, we ain't gonna have been through any time like that, but it ain't gonna be nothing new to be living without, you know what I'm saying, when the power go out, you know what I'm saying, no internet connection, a scarcity of food. Brothers done been down bad, no money. So when they make it to where we can operate without that sea help, and we gotta have either that or our money don't exist, hey, it is what it is. And then for, you know, the spirit done been on people now, including some members of my family. I wouldn't necessarily say homestead. I gotta really dig into that and see what it really is. But even on social media, you see people, they got black farm of this, black farm of that. It's a certain Instagram page, he a farmer. He got all these animals and stuff. You know, brothers out there getting back into agriculture, sisters too. I got women in my family getting back in the garden, fruits and vegetables and stuff like that. They say they'd rather have it at home than keep going to the grocery store. And the main reason is because shit too high. So that made people go back to, hey, square one, doing it yourself and growing it yourself. Go get the seeds and, hey, tend to it. And in due time, they say, my grandmother, you'll have more than what you bargained for, more you can deal with. You know what I'm saying? You start with a few seeds, now you have an abundance. You giving it away. But yeah, man, it ain't gonna be nothing brand new to be uncomfortable. Cause like now you gotta get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Hey, this whole system, you know, being in this truth, you're uncomfortable as it is, cause you know how it should be. You know it's ran in wickedness. But back in Job 5 and 18, for he make it sore and bind it up, he wounded and his hands make whole. So like, yeah, who the Lord chastened, like back in Deuteronomy. He gonna chasten you, but he gonna make you whole again. Before he throw you in some, the way that you gonna get out of it is already made. He already know how you gonna get out of it. You just don't know it yet. I done had it to where I done got fired from a job, and I'm asking, trying to see what my next move is. Someone's already lined up for me that I already had. It was an email from a year or two ago. I just stumbled across it. It just popped in my mind. I had a job in 3 days. I just pretty much took the next few days off. And then, yeah, I was thinking I was gonna have to scramble and find out what to do and how to do it. He already had a way already, and he put it in my mind to make that move. And so he wounded and he make whole. Well, he bind it up, he wounded and his hands make whole. If he never would have put me through that situation, ain't no telling where I'd be right now. I'd be messed up because the place I'm at now, I have way more free time. No, I don't have to work 2 jobs. I don't have to work 2 jobs and go to school. I got way more free time, more time for the ministry. I'm making it by with my 1 job. You know, he put me through that fire. And that whole situation, like I said, I had a job. Well, I did that email, and then 2 days later I had a job. But it had already been like 3 or 4 days since the incident happened. But it was already lined up, man. He had something better for me before I even knew what it was. And he knew I was tired already, shit. But verse 19, he shall deliver thee in 6 troubles, yeah. And 7, there shall no evil touch thee. And shit, just like Joel, I'm going through this situation, been about to rip your hair out, tearing your clothes up, like, damn, what I'm gonna do? But eventually I was cool with it. And like I say, here I am now. You know, verse 20. In famine he shall redeem thee from death, and in war from the power of the sword. Thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue, neither shalt thou be afraid of destruction when it cometh. At destruction and famine thou shalt laugh, neither shalt thou be afraid of the beast of the earth. And that's what we hoping for when Yahweh shall come back. Well, before Yahweh shall come back, when he make his move, and then you hear the wars, rumors of wars, and death, famine, pestilence, people kicking folks' doors in because they hungry. They coming with their swords, knives, guns. And then Esau showed up and knew we supposed to be laughing. And I said, you gotta keep pushing, bro. Because that instantly put back in my mind a vision I had a few years ago. If you in I'm not just saying it's in the South, but that's most of what I know. That's where I grew up at. If you're in the South, like in the Delta regions, you go out of people's house. Well, they got it out here too, like in the Jackson area. Go by certain houses and they had like the little nets in the back to keep the bugs and stuff out, or like the screen doors. But yeah, me and the brothers was outside, and we looking off in the distance, nukes shooting off and hitting the ground. We in a house behind one of them little nets to keep the bugs out, on the back porch, eating, drinking, and laughing while everything going on. And then I had another vision. I think that was like last year, 2 years ago. It was like a resort, jet ski. Where it started, we was on the street. I was riding up the street in my truck, and I had hit a right. The whole street lit up like pearly white. Brothers on the left, on the right, in front of a white building. Everybody got their garments on with their Bibles in their hand, teaching the word. And then I found the group that I'm with. Passing other brothers, GMS, up the street. I got with my group, and we were still putting in that work on that pearly white street. And then it like kind of jumped, and I was floating in the air, and then you looking at it, it was like a dictatorship, like they show in certain movies or cartoons. Everybody, like pushing the little wheel, people walking around with tore up clothes and shackles on their feet, pushing the little wheel in a circle. While I dictate on the big screen, talking, barking orders or whatever it is, like the news for the day. And I'm just floating in the air, like looking down at all of it, going over the city. And then it skipped again. That's when it made it to the resort. And there's brothers out there, sisters out there with they long dresses on and hair wraps. Got the grills going, jet skis, parasailing, big boats, big yachts. Everybody out there laughing, having a good time, music playing. I say that's the time we coming into. And at the end of that vision, like right before I woke up, like everything was getting put back up. They were bringing back in the jet skis. People were taking the boats back in. They were putting out the grill. Pretty much on like it's coming to a close. And I woke up, I had a tear in my eye, man. I was like, damn, I had to go. I woke up, shit, I'm like, back to the bullshit. I gotta get ready to go to work. Like, we ain't made it there yet. But yeah, we getting ready to be at peace. And we gonna be at peace then. The Lord put us in that spirit to be at ease. But I'm just sitting back thinking about it now, man. We really finna be the word. We don't have to worry about nothing no more. You get to sit back and just be at peace. Walk outside. You got a nice castle that you stay in with a lake in the front. looking out. That's part of another brother video that he used, brother Ayash used for intros. Of course, it's AI, but had a brother walking outside in front of a lake. It was like nighttime, and it wasn't the moon giving off light. It was a planet like next to him, like radiating. It was like a real colorful planet. And then he turned to the other side, and he had his castle right there with another little, like a little water, what they call them things, like a water fountain. Yeah, whatever. I forgot the exact name. That might be it, but he had like a little stream. You know, so he had a big castle. Everything was just luxury. Something fit for a king, but hey, in due time, man. Back in Job 5:23, for thou shalt be in league with the stones of the field, and the beasts of the field shall be at peace with thee. And so we gonna be good in them days. Lord, we are part of that number. Lord, I'm a part of that number. So you ain't gonna have nothing to worry about in that day. You ain't got to worry about famine. You ain't got to worry about death. You ain't got to worry about the beasts of the field. And like it was talking about, I forget exactly where it is, but you're going to be trying to escape from trouble. You escape the famine, you escape the sword, and then you run into a house. You know, say that's pretty much summing it up. You run into a house, and then you get bit by a serpent. You rested your hand on the wall. So we ain't going to have to worry about none of that, man. Verse 24, and thou shalt know that thy tabernacle shall be in peace, and thou shalt visit thy habitation and shalt not sin. Thou shalt know also that thy seed shall be great, and thine offspring as the grass of the earth. And you can't eat kind of all the blades of grass you got outside. And there was one more thing I forgot. I got to talking about that video, man. Because they got it now to where having children is a burden, and that was a beautiful thing. Women were wanting children in the scriptures, man. They were bearing. They was ashamed of them. They were asking they men. They were giving their men the handmaids just so they can have a child. But yeah, man, you don't have so many children. In this mind that we have now, in this body, you can't even fathom it. You know, brother be out there with 10, 15 children. You know, just like the Wayans and all them. You got certain instances where it might be your family, grandma and granddaddy, or great grandma and granddaddy had 10, 15 kids, man. We gonna be, hey, we gonna outshine them for sure. And then you're gonna have all the eternity to do it. Time won't even exist no more. You're gonna have 3 or 4 planets full of children, man. But yeah, man. Verse 26, thou shalt come to thy grave in a full age, like as a shock of corn cometh in his season. Verse 27, lo, this we have searched it, so it is, hear it, and know thou it for thy good. That's the end of chapter 5, man. You know, we got beautiful things to look forward to. And he and I think it's still Eliphaz. Yeah, I think it's Eliphaz talking to him. He's trying to lift them up, man. You're gonna be at peace, man. Don't forget. He said, be happy. The Lord dealing with you. He chastening you just like you're chastening your own children. And Job, he lost all his children, but you best believe he probably chastened them along the way too. Like I said, the brother's still trying to uplift them. But that's the end of chapter 5. And once again, I'm gonna give all honor, praise, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of GMS who rule well and teach well. And peace, love, and salutations to the men, women, and children that can keeping this word in sincerity and truth. Shalom.